about my whole transition, which really surprised me. My voice. Everyone's asking about how I got my voice to where it is and how I sound like this and have I had voice training or what tricks do I use, and I will tell you now. Hi guys and welcome back to the channel, and if you are new here, hello, my name is Alexis Blake. I am a trans woman and I share my life stories and opinions on social media, and today we're going to be sharing more of the life and the stories bits. So I put out questions on Instagram and the YouTube communities tab asking you guys, what do you want to know about transition in general? What do you want to know about my transition? And we got some comments, so thank you for everyone who replied. So I'm going to answer as many as I can whilst I do my makeup today. So before we do a jump scare to me with no makeup on, I used to do my makeup videos and I stopped doing them as much because I noticed that I did get some, let's say, not as nice comments about me looking like a man. So it put me off for a while, but you know what? I don't mind. I'm gonna have to just learn to deal with it. So I never go out the house without makeup on, but you guys are all gonna see me without makeup on. So if you wanna hear me answer some questions about my transition, then let's dive right in. Let's go. New extensions, who dis? Okay. Let's get this out of the way. I'm not gonna confirm or deny if this is on alcohol. So this is me with no makeup on, and I'm basically going to get ready today and you're going to watch if you want to watch, and I'm going to just answer some of your questions about being trans, transitioning, my transition, etc. And a few people asked as well for like some more makeup content and just bits and bobs like that, so that's what we're doing. We are going out tonight and I am on a deadline. I'm supposed to be ready in 15 minutes, so that's probably not going to happen, so let's dive right in. I'm just going to be using, I'll try and give the bits and bobs about the products that I'm using in case you want to try them. First question from Instagram. How expensive is it to transition? So it's kind of a difficult one to answer, that one. So hello Blake, the cat's just come to join me. L'Oreal Triple Active Day Cream. I get really dry skin since taking estrogen and I used to have oily skin. So how expensive is transition? I couldn't say exactly and I'm not done yet. So far mine is in the 5-figure sort of region. So like I've done everything private because I didn't want to wait for the NHS. Bearing that in mind, which is more expensive, and the few surgeries that I've had, 3 or 4 surgeries that I've had, I'd say I'd spent over 10,000, 11, maybe 12,000. So it sounds so much money when you say it out loud. It's worth it though, because I am much, much happier now living as myself, and each thing that I've done, like my hair transplant for instance, my old hairline gave me so much dysphoria that it was a non-negotiable surgery for me. So I think that was like 3,000 in total, or 2,500, because I got that done abroad, and it's made me so much happy. So it's kind of like putting in perspective. But just to get going with transition and getting your diagnosis and starting on hormones, 1,000 or 2,000 if you're going privately in the UK. Okay, next question. Oh my gosh, my hair is so hot in here. Okay, someone said, you defo have to talk about passing privileges, as people think because we pass, we don't get dysphoria. Thank you for your question. Yeah, I do get that. So I think people sort of automatically assume that because I am lucky enough that for the most part now I pass. And if you don't know, passing is just when someone who is transgender is transitioned, they can blend in with the gender, sex that they're trying to be. So for me, for instance, like I don't get noticed too often, but I do things to help not getting noticed, if that makes sense. So I wear makeup all the time, and I wear maybe certain clothes that sort of disguise parts of my body that I don't like my broadness and etc. Anyway, sorry, I go off topic. I still do get dysphoria, very much so. I think it's like a misconception that once you transition, all your dysphoria goes away. It's not the case. It gets better. So with hormones and everything that we do surgically wise, little things like getting my eyelashes done and my nails done and tan and makeup and all like the extra bits and bobs that I do, they do help with the dysphoria and alleviate it. But there is times like when I'm sat there with no makeup on, and if I look in a mirror, I do really feel the dysphoria more strongly. Or when I notice things like if I'm talking to someone and I'm talking with my hands and I notice them look at my hands, that causes me instant dysphoria because I know that they're thinking she's got big hands. Just stupid stuff like that. I do definitely still get it, but it's a lot better now. Even though I pass, when I'm out, I still get it. It's not as bad because when you pass, obviously your dysphoria is eased because people are referring to it immediately as she and her, gendering you correctly, which obviously does help a lot. The foundation I'm using, by the way, is the Maybelline 30 Hour. I like a full coverage beat. I also really like the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour skin tint. Okay, next question. Sorry, I've got a mirror here and a monitor there, and I'm like, I need to remember to look at you guys. Do you experience side effects from hormone replacement therapy? Thank you for your question. Absolutely. More so for me, it was at the beginning that the effects were much like stronger, the side effects, I should say. But I still do get some now. So one of the major side effects that I think is really important to discuss is that it can make you sterile. So by taking the hormones, it can basically stop any chance for biological reproducing, if that makes sense. So that's one huge side effect that I think people should really know about before going on hormones. And then other side effects at the start, hot flashes, very, very strange experience for no reason, just really like basically setting on fire from the inside outwards. That was not fun. Mood swings and your emotional state like is more unstable. So what I mean by that is my body was running on testosterone for 27 years, so it was very much used to that. My brain ran off it. It makes up how we do everything, our sex hormone, whether it be testosterone or estrogen. And when I started adding estrogen into the mix, my body was very confused and very angry, and I would feel anger like that, or I would just burst into tears. And then as my hormone level sort of plateaued and I got used to it, I would feel more and more like myself again, and those emotions would sort of neutralize a little bit. But don't get me wrong, I am still more emotional now than I was pre-transition, which is a very strange thing as well to get used to, but it's a very cool thing because I think I feel everything so much deeper now. So yeah, I would say that your emotions, the hot flashes, and fertility as well. Okay, next question. Any help for a closeted trans girl who is very masculine? It depends on what you mean by help, really. So if you're wanting to transition, I think going to your GP is the first and best step. Your GP can maybe recommend you for counselling and put you on some sort of waiting list depending on what country you're from. So I would always recommend speaking to your GP. Trying to join maybe like a support group, they can help as well. I never actually joined one because I couldn't find one near to where I live, but I think having people to talk about it with, or who are experiencing the same feelings and emotions, or people who, what was really helpful, I actually met a person who was trans who was like a year into the transition, and they helped guide me and explain things to me and made me feel better and made me feel more sane because of the things I was feeling and experiencing. They'd already felt those things, if that makes sense. So try and reach out and build a community around you. That really, really does help. That's my best advice. And then just start exploring at home. Clothing is the best place, I think, to start. Even if you don't want to go and shop, order it online, some underwear and an outfit, and just see how you feel. And then try with makeup. And then as your confidence builds, you can start coming out to people you trust and build and build and build like that. That's the way I did it. I'm using two different concealers. I don't know why. I'm using the Hourglass concealer and the L'Oreal Infallible. One tip for makeup wise, if you're a trans girly, I don't use it anymore because I've had so much laser and electrolysis now that I have very minimal facial hair, which is amazing. But the Revolution Conceal and Correct in Orange, it's like, oh gosh, am I really going to do this? Oh, I did it. It's like an orange colour corrector that you just put on your beard shadow, and the orange counteracts the grey green tones of your beard. So that's a little tip for makeup. Also, I've changed the way that I've done the background. So normally I'm sat more that way and you can only see this. But because of my makeup situation needing a mirror, I thought I'm going to try something new today. And I know Liam's not going to like it. So when he comes to editing, I'm sure he's going to put in a little sassy comment here how he doesn't like the background. Very sorry, babe. This is my sort of everyday makeup, by the way. I'm not going anything too fancy. We're only going out for a couple of drinks with friends tonight. And I have lashes on now. The individual lashes. Couldn't recommend them enough. Honestly, absolutely love them. If you've never had them, I would recommend them. They do take a minute to get used to because you can't like rub your eyes or anything, but that as well. One of my biggest dysphoria that I feel personally is when I'm at home and my hair's in a bun on top of my head, I'm wearing very baggy clothes and all covered up with no makeup on. I feel so dysphoric because that is the most masculine that I look. And it's fine, I can say that, it doesn't bother me, but it just frustrated me when I looked in the mirror and I just felt so not feminine, and it made me feel really uncomfortable. So I thought, why don't I try these lashes that I can get done every 3 weeks and they're always on, so at least I look like somewhat done. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm basically trying to say that it kind of makes you look a bit done all the time. Even if you've got no makeup on, you still look a bit fresh and feminine, I guess. So would highly recommend them. And if you're someone who struggles with doing eyeliner and eye makeup, lashes are the best thing. So for me, I think one of the most feminine makeups to do is a cat eye winged liner. I love that and I find it so feminine. But doing it every day can be quite tedious. And if you're not the best at makeup, if you're just starting out, at least with lashes, someone else is applying them for you. Just going to set my face with some cheap pressed powder and then I'll answer some more questions. Do you know one of the craziest things, what I used to do? At the start of my transition, oh, that's not blended down my neck. Blend down your neck, that's another tip. One thing I've learnt the hard way. I used to put makeup on for work, go to work, and then on my lunch break, I would take my makeup off from here down and I would reshave and then put makeup back on. My skin was so beat up because of it. Because if you imagine shaving twice a day, putting on makeup twice a day, it was so bad. But I hated having shadow that much that I would do that in the toilets at work. So I would recommend laser if you are a trans woman and you struggle with facial hair. I would recommend starting laser sooner rather than later because it takes quite a long time to get going with laser. Next question. How long do you have until your transition is complete? Oh, do you know what? I honestly don't know. They say hormones can like continuously change your body for 3 years, 4 years, and then you kind of sort of plateau after that. Because I'm still getting changes now from the hormones, like fat redistribution and things. I don't really like I'm quite boxy here. I don't have the natural curves, I guess. So, but the hormones are still helping redistribute fat, which is amazing. But like surgery-wise and where I want to be for the end of my transition, I'm guessing another year and a half, and then I think I'll probably be done. There's not loads and loads that I want to get done more. There's a few other bits. They're not so much cosmetic, it's more things to correct the masculine parts of me. Anyway, Liam's home. Hi, babe.
Hi.
How are you? I'm nearly ready. Also, blush is very, very feminizing in my opinion. I love blush. I can't recommend it enough, honestly. That was the Hoola bronzer and just a cheap blush. I think it's a Natural Collection blush. And I'm just going to set my face now. Move my hair back. Oh. Okay, let's let that... I'm just going to have a minute from the makeup. Next question. How was the feeling when you first recognised breast growth? Well, okay, so I didn't recognise breast growth at first. I recognised pain, like saw pain, like... It was quite bad. I think like any female going through puberty, I'm assuming it's a similar sort of feeling. So when your body starts to develop in that area, start to get very sensitive. So I started having to wear a bra immediately, even though there was nothing there, because like the rubbing of fabrics, that was crazy. And then when I started to see like the slight shadow, that was really cool. But I never really developed that much. I wasn't very lucky in that sort of aspect. I think I only got to, I think I was a AA. I think I was like a 36 AA. Surgery has helped a lot with my dysphoria in that area. But the soreness was definitely the first thing that I noticed. Are you going to come and say hi, Liam?
Hi, everybody.
I'm just taking the foundation off of my lips and eyebrows with a baby wipe. Where did that... Oh, it's there. Ow. Next question. How fast did laser work? I am born female, but it doesn't seem to work on my face. Okay, so don't judge what I just did. It's quite long. So for me, I had a really thick, dark beard. Insert picture somewhere here, please, Liam. So I had 22 sessions of laser on my face. They were 1 month apart. And then I've had about 7 hours of electrolysis in total now. Maybe 8 hours on my face as well. And I'd say I'm almost there. So it is quite a lengthy, intense process to try and get rid of it. Because facial hair is like one of the most stubborn hairs to go. Because I had my underarms lasered as well. And they were basically gone after 5 or 6 sessions. So it's very annoying, I'll not lie. I'm very sorry to tell you that getting rid of your hair on your face is very difficult. That's why I said at the start of the video, if you are a trans woman and you want to get rid of your full beard, it's something I would start sooner than later. That's the best advice that I can give. Oh, I never do brows with eyeshadow, but that's kind of worked well. Okay, another question. How to tell loved ones who may not support you? Gosh, it's a very difficult one. Do you have any idea how to answer that, babe?
I mean, if they don't support you, I'm assuming you already know the answer that they're going to give you before you've told them.
Told them, yeah.
So the way I see it is, it's none of their business. Because if they're not going to support you in something that you're doing, then I don't think that they deserve your time. Now, obviously, if it's your mum or your dad, that's obviously slightly different. If it's just friends or colleagues or whatever, but I think if it's your mum and dad, you do need to have that difficult conversation with them. But ultimately, if they don't accept you or give you an answer that you're looking for, then that's not on you, that's on them.
Thank you, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the same. I think just what I did, I started out by telling my best friend and Liam, people who I knew would accept me, especially in time, maybe not immediately, but they would understand in time and support me. And then I just trickled out to like my family and whatnot. But even for me, like with my parents, I wanted them to understand that this is a very serious thing and I was taking this seriously. So I waited about 6 months. I started my transition, got my diagnosis, I legally changed my name. So when I came out to them, I could say, I know this is difficult. It's not something that you probably expected from me, but I am serious. I have changed my name. I have been diagnosed with gender dysphoria and I am transitioning. So it just shows how serious you are. Because sometimes I think parents are like, oh, okay then. But for me, they were like, oh, okay, you are doing this then. Okay, brow gel. Do you know what? The biggest question I have been asked about my whole transition, which really surprised me, my voice. Everyone's asking about how I got my voice to where it is and how I sound like this and have I had voice training or what tricks do I use, and I will tell you now. I have not had any specific voice training. I've not even done it on YouTube or anything. So I tried to. So at the start of my transition, I tried like watching YouTubes. I will tag someone below who's like a trans woman who does voice training on YouTube. Really good stuff. I did start listening to some of her videos, but it's a lot to sort of digest and take in. And I think, one, I'm quite lucky naturally that I have somewhat not too masculine of a voice. Do you know what I think actually helped me as well? So when I was training to be a dancer, I did 3 years at performing arts school and we also did singing. And I think learning about the voice and singing and learning about that muscle, because it is a muscle, the voice, isn't it? I think learning that as well helped me like understand pitch and tone and how that sort of works as well. And then I started to realise as I started to transition and as I passed more and more and I hadn't really changed my voice yet, people would be a bit stunned when I would talk if they were strangers and they'd be like, why is she talking so manly? So I naturally started to pick it up and lift it and lift it and lift it to get to a point where I am now. The coolest thing happened the other day. I called someone, I can't remember even who I was calling. They didn't know if it was going to be a man or a woman calling. So I called them and they gendered me correctly without me saying my name or anything like that, and that felt amazing. So I was like, oh, it's working. But I've just lifted it. Would you like a video of my voice, like how I do it? Because I could potentially try and like drop it back down to where I used to talk. Let me know if you want a video on how I talk like this, I guess, and what I do. Okay, a couple more questions. Where is my lip liner? That's not a question. Makeup Revolution lip liner. She's seen better days. Oh gosh, I need a mirror. I don't think I can talk while I do this next bit. Lip gloss is covered in hair. How lovely. Maybelline Lifter Gloss. And that is our makeup done. Simples. Okay, couple more questions before we go. I do need to get changed because I'm not really a fan of this dress. Oh, these extensions are a bit questionable. So, this person had asked a few questions, but the one I'm going to answer is, many people are using they, them pronouns for people they don't know the gender of. Have you been referred to as non-binary pronouns? I think I have, and I haven't done transition and spent the money and time to be referred to as they. That I don't get that personally, the whole neutralizing of pronouns for everyone to they, them. Like me specifically, I would like she, her pronouns. So I think they and them pronouns, where appropriate, use them, but where we don't need to use them for everyone. I really don't see the point in that at all. So I think it would offend me a little bit if someone used they, them pronouns. Because to me, that would mean that I would see that as them being unclear on my gender, and that would, I think, would offend me. When you're in that awkward phase of transitioning, trans puberty, most people can tell you're transitioning, but it's not always clear what you are coming from and transitioning to. What is the kindest, most respectful way to approach it? I have a co-worker and I feel like I'm coming across as rude. I think the fact that you're worried about coming across rude and saying the wrong thing means you're probably not. I think, honestly, I wouldn't stress the fact that you care enough to be conscious of it. I think that's amazing. Obviously, don't ask super personal questions with someone you don't know, but I think asking someone what their pronouns are if you're really unsure, or asking maybe around to see and then just using them best possible. But I think the fact that you're cautious of it says a million things about you, so I wouldn't worry. It speaks volumes. Thank you, babe. Last question. So someone asked, in the beginning of your transition, were people kind to you, and did that change now that there's more controversy with Leah Thomas, Dylan, etc. pushback? I would say that it was a mixture at the start, really. So I did get funny looks and comments and things. I think that the climate that we live in right now, with everything that we see on social media surrounding trans people, trans women, it seems to be a lot of negative stuff. So I do worry that things are going to get worse for trans people. But generally, in my current job, I'm very lucky. In an old job, it was an awful experience. So it's been a mixed bag, really. Like, it's really hard to say if I think that the current climate is changing it, because I think it is making the public opinion of trans women worse as a whole. Yes, I'm going to go with that as my answer. We're going to call it there. Anyway, I need to get changed because I don't like my outfit, and I think these hair extensions aren't looking great. Liam, will you come look at my hair extensions? They're new, and I don't know if I've blended them very good. What about now?
1 minute.
Or now?
Right, come in.
Thank you. Does my hair look really fake? You look very handsome.
Thank you.
Come into shot.
Where's the camera? Oh, hello.
Does it look alright, or can you tell it's fakeness?
No, it looks good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna get changed. Liam, you're so annoying. Thank you, baby. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm ready. I'm wearing a pantsuit, which oddly enough feel very feminine in with my little crop top bralette thing on. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's different video, and we will see you in the next one. Come say bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Let's go and have a drink.
Bye.
Let's go to Leeds and have a drink.
Turn the camera off.
Drink.
Bye.